9 News Plus weather, sponsored by Carrier Colorado. The future of home comfort is here.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Plus. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi with a detailed look at your Colorado weather forecast. I think a couple of things for today. One, some strong storms, mainly well east of Denver. But for tomorrow, I think that's when we could see some of those stronger storms move their way into the metro area, and that leads to the potential for some large hail, as well as some really strong winds for us in the metro area for tomorrow. For today, it's the far eastern plains. We'll break this all down for you. In the meantime, looking outside right now, and we got lots of green out there thanks to the 5.5 inches of rain we picked up so far this month, our 11th wettest month on record, and we could add a bit of rain to that today and tomorrow for us here in the Denver area. It's certainly been quite the month of May so far, and again, probably adding a little bit to that as we head over the next little while. Headlines. So for today, isolated storms. I think here in the Denver area, we have the chance for a storm similar to yesterday, maybe DIA on east. We had that pop-up storm right near the airport yesterday. Kind of a similar setup for today, but I think those storms, as they move out to the eastern plains, they look a bit stronger than what we saw yesterday. So if you're joining us anywhere east of Fort Morgan and Lyman, today is an interesting and potential for some really strong storms out there west of the Fort Morgan Lyman line. I think we're generally looking pretty similar stuff to yesterday. 1 or 2, maybe 3 storms that pop on up, and they should stay sub-severe. Those storms will intensify as they head east. Now, HC Doppler radar is quiet right now, but as I mentioned, later on today, we expect things to pick on up. And in fact, as you get into the far eastern plains, this would be Phillips, Sedgwick, Yuma, Kit Carson counties out there, even down into Prowers and Baca counties there on the far eastern plains. This is where we have a slight or an enhanced risk for severe storms, and this is going to be for damaging winds. So this is where we could be talking about, in some cases, 80+ mile-an-hour winds on the far eastern plains. We get a really powerful line of storms that kind of moves its way out through tonight. So here's how it kind of shakes out. Still got that southwest flow in play. That's we're tapping into moisture out of the Pacific and the Gulf of Mexico, mainly out of the Pacific, and that will stream up here into Colorado and lead to some of those storms popping on up around 2, 3 o'clock or so this afternoon. And again, 1 or 2 of those storms around the metro area. Not expecting severe weather, but a quick downpour, some lightning, maybe some small hail. You know the deal at this point. Similar to what we've seen over the last couple of days. But watch what happens as these storms pull east of I-25. They start to kind of merge, and they kind of coalesce into one big powerful line. And as they move east of that Fort Morgan Lyman area, notice again, we get that one big line that stretches from Baca County all the way north to Holyoke, Julesburg. And the thing to watch out for in this line is the potential for some of those 80+ mile-an-hour winds. And this is what we would call a mesoscale convective system. And I know that's a big blobby term. What that is a really long line of unusually powerful storms. That's what this looks like to me, is this really long line of strong storms that will continue through the early evening hours, and by about 9, 10 o'clock or so, those storms should lift north and east into Nebraska and Kansas. Now, for us here in the metro area, again, 1 or 2 of those storms between probably about 2 and 4 p.m. Then those storms lift north and east out of the metro area, and should lead to a pretty calm and cool evening ahead for us. Now, this is the thing to watch out for. Getting into the nitty-gritty here a little bit, but as a meteorologist, one of the main numbers I'm going to watch for today is this, the dew point. How far west do those 55, 60-degree dew points reach? Did they make it as far west as the metro area? If so, that would be a sign for some possible trouble for us here in the Denver area. But notice that 47-degree dew point. That's at Denver International Airport's on the east side of the city. If we keep those dews in the 40s, we're probably going to be okay here in the metro area in terms of that potential for severe storms. But out on the far eastern plains, there's a lot more energy for these storms to work with. The higher this number is, the more moisture you have to work with, and the more potential energy you have to tap into. So that's why I'm a bit more concerned about the far eastern plains as opposed to the Denver area. Again, if that moisture does start backing its way into the Denver area, unlikely with the southwest flow, but it's possible, then we could see some of those storms firing up here in the Denver area and perhaps turn a bit more severe. In the meantime, it really is beautiful outside. We keep things storm-free here in the metro area, which for most of us, it should stay storm-free this afternoon. It's going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous late May day. 72 right now. Our average high for today is 77, and those temps will get a little bit above probably that 77-degree mark with the high in the low 80s once again for us here in the metro area. So a very nice day ahead for us. Again, isolated storms between about 2 and 6 p.m. But for today, it looks pretty nice. Come tomorrow and really for the rest of the week, those storm chances tick on up. And here's the reason why. Kind of slow moving upper level area low pressure that's going to gradually spin its way in our direction. And that'll bring up a bit more moisture as we get into your Wednesday and your Thursday and your Friday. But at this point, it looks like tomorrow could be the day that we see the highest potential for severe storms for us here in the metro area. So tomorrow's going to be a good day for the garage or the carport if you have access to one. Those hail precautions, tomorrow is probably the day for that. Temperatures cool down a little bit, and if we get a little bit of sunshine in the morning, that would be another sign that we could be looking at some trouble storms tomorrow. As we get a little bit of sunshine in the morning, that destabilizes the atmosphere and leads to an increased potential for severe storms. Bit of an oxymoron, right? You look outside and you see sunshine, you go, oh, should be a nice day. And if we see that tomorrow morning, that's a bit of an indicator that could be a bit of trouble ahead for us. Now, for tomorrow, slight risk for the Eastern Plains, but notice how Denver area, we're in the marginal, we're level 1 on a 0 to 5 scale in terms of that risk for severe storms for tomorrow. And that's, again, indicative of that threat that we could see some of those severe storms tomorrow afternoon and through the early evening. So tomorrow, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, we'll see those storms move their way through our region. And then we maybe see some leftover rain tomorrow night as well. I think we could be looking at the potential for maybe a tenth or maybe even a quarter inch of rain, though a bit more than that is possible with some of those localized downpours. 7-day forecast. It is a stormy one here, folks. We've basically got storm chances every day between now and early next week. And it's thanks to that slow-moving area low pressure that's just going to kind of sit and spin and drop more moisture and just kind of honestly regurgitate all those shower storms. We've got so much moisture on the ground, and we got any sort of dynamic in play. We got an area low pressure right now, and that is going to kind of keep drawing into that same tap of moisture again and again and again, and that's going to keep things pretty darn busy as we head over the next few days. Doesn't look like we really dry on out until the beginning to middle part of next week. And then, by the way, this is worth keeping in mind, is that we picked up about 5.5 inches of rain so far this month. This is, as I mentioned, already our 11th wettest month on record. If we get another 1/10 of an inch of rain, that would make it a top 10 wettest month on record. And by the way, it is also our 4th wettest May ever recorded here in Denver as well. So it's certainly been a busy month. I don't have to tell you that. I know for a lot of you, it's felt like the month we've flipped to Seattle. We do have some more showers and storms en route for today, probably more of a chance for tomorrow and the rest of the week. And that threat for tomorrow will include the potential for at least some severe weather for us in the metro area. So we'll keep you posted with the very latest on that. Meteorologist Greg Perez getting ready right behind that TV screen for 9 News at noon. And also he'll have an update for you here on 9 News at 2 p.m., on 9 News Plus here at 2 p.m. And then we'll have Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin in at 4 and 5, and then Meteorologist Danielle Grant in at 6, 9, 10 tonight.
Danielle's doing all.
Danielle's doing all the shows. Never mind. Danielle's doing 4, 5, 6, 9, 10 tonight.
I might do one.
And we'll have Steve Stager. So and maybe Erica Lopez doing the weather as well. So we'll have everybody tapping on in here, checking in on those weather forecasts for you. In the meantime, I'm 9 News meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.